I'd like to call the meeting to order. All board members are present. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Even though this is a special meeting, we're going to follow the agenda for a normal board meeting and go through all of our reports since our last meeting was canceled because of the snow.
For a motion, make a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0.
Madam Chairman, I make a move that we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Any comments?
I have no comment.
All in favor?
Outside it's
Aye.
cold vote.
We know that already. Policy Committee.
We met, I don't even remember when now, January sometime. It's been a while, it seems like, but it doesn't. And basically, it's just making changes to match MSBA's policy, and we had a couple district policy changes too. Nothing major.
Southwest Metro.
We will have our meeting a week from this Tuesday.
We'll get it at the next board meeting. And CPAC.
CPAC had its meeting on February the 5th, and we had two speakers that presented at our meeting. The first was DJ Gilder, a New Prague graduate, who talked about his experience with special services and especially highlighting his experiences that he had as a post-secondary student, his experiences at Normandale College, and he gave a very nice presentation and did a very good job from the standpoint of a student, and also probably from the family standpoint as well. He included also dealings that he had with his parents, with his needs that he had, and was very informative, did a great job. And then we also had a presentation by Kim Isley. She is a representative on the county resources that are available to our children. And this is the way it operates. The state makes available services to students on the county level. So therefore, we have to have a good relationship with the county in order for our students to get the services that they are qualified to receive. So she talked about the different services that are available to students in our school district. We had several parents that attended the meeting, and it was a very good meeting.
Thank you. Community Ed.
The brochure is in full swing. It's going to the printer on March 9th and will be delivered on March 28th. Registration for Summer Kids Company is going very strong, and the early going, it's 213 so far, and last year through the whole thing was 323. The Aquatic Center and the Fitness Center are sponsoring the 2018 Lazy Man Triathlon. It will run for 5 weeks, beginning on April 6th. There was two driver's ed people hired, one due to a death and one due to a retirement. The community room downstairs next to the gym is probably one of the highlights. A lot of the older people are coming in for gatherings, knitting groups, coffee and treats are being given out, and they host card parties and bingos and basically just visit. Most popular classes this month: aquatic fitness class, swimming lessons, instant pots, cooking class, Probably the number one going right now is Vietnam history, volleyball, many clinics, and junior basketball.
Is that community room just open during the day, or do they have to reserve it for
Uh,
their
Let's
activities?
see. I don't, when
They
you-
have it reserved. We have senior activities every morning that's sort of reserved for. So yeah, anyone can reserve it, and
At least
but
they-
through community ed, that's our basically on Friday. What day of the week they got quilting? And they got different activities, a different type of activity.
I think it's at least open from 8 till 11.
Yeah, for the senior activities. Yep.
Thank you. Wellness,
No meeting.
early childhood meet?
No.
All right, superintendent updates.
Yeah, just a few things. We had Ann Zwaber, a junior student at New Prague High School, spoke at Rotary last week and talked about her mission to connect diverse people throughout our school district and community by having a New Prague Area School District Culture Fair on March 15th at the high school. And so she made a very positive impact on her presentation with Rotary. And you know, and she's teaming up with our Proud group, our student-led Proud group at the high school to assist with the fair. So we're looking forward to that, to educate our student, staff, and community on the differences and similarities in various cultures. So Ann's going to come and speak at our, present this information about the culture fair at our next board meeting on February 26th. So you'll get a chance to hear her, and like I said, she did an outstanding job. The other thing that went on last night, we had the 4th Annual Duck Cup Memorial Community Presentation. And that is raising awareness for suicide prevention. And we're very fortunate to have Brian Connolly. He's a 2000 New Prague graduate, and 5 other graduates from that class. They've started a foundation which sponsors bringing in speakers and educating our staff and students. So it was a community presentation last night. Like I said, we had approximately about 115 people we counted that were at last night's presentation. Today he spoke to the high school students at, I think we had 9th and 10th grade together, and 11th and 12th grade. And then he also met with our staff. I was at the high school, middle school presentation after school. We probably had 40 to 50 staff members there. And then at 4:15, he spoke to the elementary. Tomorrow, he presents to the middle school. And then he also, we have TCU involved too. So fabulous, a very important thing going on. And we appreciate the Duck Cup Memorial Foundation board for sponsoring this every year. They have a golf tournament that raises money, and they do that in July every year, so it's very powerful. And the last thing, just I know Chuck, we got this on social media, and Chuck did a great job putting it in the New Prague Times, but I'll mention it here. New Prague Area Schools was listed amongst the top 5% of school districts in the nation, according to the National Council for Home Safety and Security. So they listed the top 500 school districts in the nation, and we were listed at number 344. And the factors were to compile the list was based on student performance, dropout rates, school funding, and area poverty rates. So pretty neat to get mentioned in that group there. So thought I'd share that. That's it.
If I could make a comment, this weekend our wrestlers won 5 matches, including schools like Hopkins and Minnetonka, and they've had a very good record. In fact, most of our winter sports have had fairly good records, but the one thing that I've noticed is they give it their all. Wrestlers are a completely different person in the classroom from November until February because of the weight, and they do work very hard of it. And I'm kind of pushing that we go and see some of these events. So girls hockey's already been eliminated, and it seems like you know, faculty and stakeholders and even administration and board members too. We say we support our students, but we don't make. But some of those people don't make an effort to find a way to watch or cheer them on, or at least make an appearance at the meet so that the kids could know that we are, and again, maybe the records aren't very good, but records aren't the important thing in football or in high school. It's the effort, and I've seen a lot of great effort from kids this year. And that includes, all the new ones, dance line, archery, and right now we have a floor hockey going on down, and I
Yep.
believe they're in first place. So it's getting late. It's the middle of February. If you're going to see an event, it's kind of hypocritical to say you support and don't get out there and support.
Yeah, the next couple of weeks will be a lot of section activities, and we also had one act play that just finished fifth in the section. They won subsection. And yeah, Don mentioned girls hockey. We had dance team compete. So they're finishing up right now, and then we've got the rest of them in the next 2 or 3 weeks. So goes by fast, closing down.
Thank you. Now we have several things we need to approve. First, we're going to award a bid for the high school roof and chiller. I think Eric is going to present.
On Thursday, February 1st, we received bids from 6 contractors for the re-roofing of the high school and replacement of the air conditioning condensers with the chilled water cooling system. We had originally set up the bids to allow for a couple local contractors to bid. Unfortunately, they did not bid, and we did not get any mechanical bids, so we had to go right to the general contractor bids, and the low general contractor bid was from Eber Construction with a base bid of $3,882,000. And the selections of the alternates don't affect who the low bidder is. So we did have a few alternates in here that I'll just run through real quick. We had one to add air conditioning to the game gym at the high school. The game gym does not have air conditioning, but the auxiliary gym that was added on about 10 years ago does have air conditioning, so it does get some residual air conditioning there. Unfortunately, accepting that alternate's going to put us over budget, so we're recommending to reject this alternate. The positive thing is that we have the infrastructure there with a chiller size to accommodate the gym if we wanted to add that work at a later date very easily. Alternate number 2 is the East Fan Room cladding. That is the mechanical room that sits on the addition that was done the same time as the auxiliary gym. There has been a fair amount of hail damage on the synthetic stucco on the original building up there, so we are covering that in metal with this project. But there is not hail damage on that a mechanical room on the addition, because I believe the hail damage happened before that. So that was just an aesthetic thing, so they all matched, and that's something I could easily done in the future as well. So we're recommending to reject that alternate due to the fact it'll put us over budget. And the last one was to put a standalone boiler to run the pool during the summer, spring, and fall months, so the main boiler plant could be shut down. And Craig feels that he can contract direct with a local contractor and get that work done cheaper. So we're going to recommend to reject that alternate as well. So we are still on budget with this bid. We're a little bit over on the construction cost, but we did reevaluate the fees, testing, and printing and contingency, and believe that we have money to complete this project and stay within the project cost budget of $4,404,490. So we would like a recommendation tonight to award the base bid to Eber Construction in the amount of $3,882,000. And if you have any questions I can answer before we do that, I'd be happy to do that as well.
I'm assuming because of there were no local bids, they were busy. Is that the economy's moving well? Or is there any particular reason why we didn't get anybody?
The only thing I heard was, in our roofing package, we had that metal to go over the synthetic stucco, and the local contractor doesn't do that himself, so he would have had to find somebody else. I think he was having trouble finding somebody else to do that for him.
Ready for?
Does anyone have any other questions?
Okay, I'll make a motion. We award the bid for the high school roof chiller project to Ebert Construction.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0. Thank you, Eric.
Thank you.
Next, we have a resolution to fully fund special education services for Minnesota. These are two resolutions that were presented through the School Board Association, I think, and they're trying to get all of the school boards in the state and around the country to, there's a lot of mandates that they get for special educations that aren't funded, and it's puts a burden on some districts that have, more people who need the services, and they don't have the money to take care of their students then, and they have to take it from somewhere else. So I don't know if we just need to,
At this time, I'll entertain a motion to consider the resolution to fully fund special education services in Minnesota.
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to consider the following resolution. Whereas local boards of education place a very high priority on ensuring that all students receive high-quality special education programs and instruction. Now therefore be it resolved that New Prague area schools urge the governor and legislature to strenuously advocate for significant increases in federal special education funding and meaningful special education reforms at the federal and state levels. Now therefore be it resolved that there is an urgency, the Minnesota legislature to convene to task to work on special education funding, specifically with a focus on the impacts of the new special education funding formulas, the projected cross-subsidy and recommendations with a timeline to eliminate the cross-subsidy. On behalf of the New Prague Area School Board of Directors, Sherry Brooks, Don Vojak, Dennis Havlicek, Kim Holden, Jean Kubesh, Kitten Schembauer, and Jerry Willarius. How do you vote on this, Don?
Yes.
Sherry?
yes?
Kim?
Yes.
Kitten?
Yes.
Jean?
Yes.
Jerry?
Yes.
Dennis? Yes, item passes. Next, I'll consider to entertain a motion to consider the resolution to fully fund special education services federal level.
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to consider the following resolution. Whereas local boards of education place a very high priority on ensuring that all students receive high-quality special education programs and instructions, now therefore it be resolved that we urge the President and Legislature to strenuously advocate for significant increases in federal special education funding and meaningful special education reforms at the federal and state levels. Now therefore it be resolved that the state of Minnesota calls upon the Congress of the United States of America to pass appropriate legislation in order to increase funding for federal special education mandates to meet the urgent financial special education needs of our cities and towns. Be it further resolved that the Secretary of the Senate cause a copy of this resolution to be delivered to all United States representatives and senators representing Minnesota in the Congress of the United States. On behalf of the New Prague Area School Board of Directors, Sherry Brooks, Don Vojak, Dennis Havlicek, Kim Holden, Jean Kubesh, Kitten Schoenbauer, Jerry Willarius. How do you vote on this, Jerry?
Yes.
Jean?
Yes.
Kitten?
Yes.
Kim?
Yes.
Sherry?
Yes.
Don?
Yes.
Dennis? Yes, item passes.
And there's more verbiage in the actual resolutions online if anyone is interested in reading more of more information on that?
Next, I'll entertain a motion to consider the resolution to accept the donation from Clinton Kopicus.
So move.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to consider the following resolution. Whereas the New Prague Area Board of Education has established a policy concerning the acceptance of gifts to the school district, and whereas the school board may accept a gift valued of $1,000 or more only by adoption of a resolution by 2/3 of its members, whereas Clinton Kopicus wishes to donate $1,000 to the school district under no conditions. Now therefore be resolved by the New Prague Area Schools Board of Education that it shall accept the donation under no conditions. How do you vote on this, Don?
Can I ask Sandy a question? This, Clinton Copernicus, is that an individual or a company?
It's an individual. It's a grandparent of one of our Raven Stream students.
Okay, I vote yes.
Sherry?
Yes.
Kim?
Yes.
Kitten?
Yes.
Jean?
Yes.
Jerry?
Yes.
Dennis, yes, item passes. Next, I'll entertain a motion to consider the resolution of accepting a donation from Medtronic.
I'll make the motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to consider the following resolution. Whereas the school board may accept the gift valued of $1,000 or more only by adoption of a resolution by 2/3 of its members, whereas Medtronic wishes to donate $1,000 to the school district under no conditions. Now therefore it be resolved by the New Prague Area Schools Board of Education to accept the donation under no conditions. How do you vote on this, Jerry?
Yes.
Jean?
Yes.
Kitten?
Yes.
Kim?
Yes.
Sherry?
Yes.
Don?
Yes.
Dennis, yes, item passes. And finally, I'll accept a motion to consider the resolution to accept a donation from Dr. James Wire.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to consider the following resolution. Whereas the New Prague Area Schools Board of Education established a policy concerning the acceptance of gifts to the school district, and whereas the school board may accept the gift valued of $1,000 or more only by adoption of a resolution by 2/3 of its members, and whereas Dr. James Wire wishes to donate $1,000 to the school district band program under no conditions. Now therefore it be resolved by the New Prague Area Schools Board of Education to accept the donation under no conditions to the band program. How do you vote on this, Don?
Yes.
Sherry?
Yes.
Kim?
Yes.
Kitten?
Yes.
Jean?
Yes.
Jerry?
Yes.
Dennis? Yes, item passes.
There's the tongue twister for the evening. Next, we need to have a closed session for negotiations update per Minnesota Statute 13D03.
Make the motion, we move to closed session.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0.